Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you here with me for the first time, my name is Melissa Reed and I am a mixed media artist. So today we're not going to do a mixed media piece. I am always asked what I do with all of my Gelli prints. And those of you who know me and have seen some of my other videos know that I am a mixed media artist and I use a lot of collage in my work. If you want to check any of those videos out, I will link some at the end. That's what I do with the majority of my prints. I love making the prints, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to pretend that I don't have 35,000 stacks of them literally everywhere in my house, because I do. I don't use all of them. Some of them I end up just discarding, but most of them I save because I do find a use for them. But today I thought I would show you some ways that are kind of holiday specific to use your prints. So one of the first things that we're going to do here is using these old Christmas balls. Now, these were given to me and I didn't really end up doing anything with them. I used to make really beautiful alcohol ink Christmas ornaments. Um, if you use the glass ones and a little bit of alcohol ink on like one of these spouncers, they make really, really pretty Christmas ornaments. Feel free to steal that idea and try them. You will not be disappointed. This is one of them here that I kind of did. It's not a great example, which is why I'm using it today. What I'm going to do is tear off some of my prints and cover these ornaments with them. And you can get as intricate with design as you want. I am going to just do some basics just to kind of show you what they're going to look like at the end. I pulled out some of my favorite prints from over the last couple of years, and I'm just going to randomly tear them off. You could do certain color schemes. I'm going to be using for this just Mod Podge because you don't necessarily need to use matte gel medium for this. You absolutely could. If that's what you have on hand, use it. If you have Mod Podge, use it. Even just white glue mixed with a little bit of water like you're going to do a paper mache, that would work beautifully too. But I have this and it's a lot less expensive than my matte gel medium, so I'm going to give this a try for this. So yeah, I'm going to just get started and see what happens. Okay, for this Christmas ball, what I have decided to do is use a lot of neutral colors. So I'm using actually a piece of packing paper that I got with some of my packages, and there's some book pages and some music sheets and just some prints that I had laying around that are either black or more neutral colored. I'm kind of going for this theme because I think it looks really nice together, and this is a good principle of art to remember. You can make visual harmony in your pieces if you choose a limited color palette of like colors. So again, I'm using all neutrals here, and even though these have different patterns on them and may even be heavily patterned in some cases, it's still going to work together because the color palette is similar, and you wouldn't want to do this with a lot of different patterns and colors unless that's what you're going for. A lot of my mixed media pieces are like that, but for something like this, I want to keep it a little more on the visually simple side. So I chose to use just that limited palette. What I'm using there is that Mod Podge, like I had mentioned before. It is extremely sticky and messy. I kind of wish I had worn gloves for this, but I didn't, and hands wash, so it's no big deal. But just FYI, that stuff is, it's basically as sticky as glue, because that's kind of what it is. It's just a glue, and it gets everywhere. So all I'm doing is just alternating back and forth and just randomly tearing strips. Because I chose all of those harmonious papers, I don't have to worry about what is going where because everything is going to look nice next to everything else. And yeah, I'm just going through there. Now, I went back and forth with this. At first, I wasn't using the card to smooth it out, and because I do kind of like the natural look of the texture on there and the natural feel of it. I wanted something a little more rustic and homemade looking, but there were some areas that were just standing up a little bit too much, and I didn't want it to become a hazard for like maybe getting damaged, when you're using the ornament there. So I did go ahead and smooth some of them down. I don't think it really would have mattered, but I like the way it turned out. I did let it dry a couple of times in between just because it was getting so messy to work with. And that just gave me a little bit more perspective on the piece too. I could take a look at it and see, oh, do I have too much black on this one side? Maybe do I want to lighten it up? And I could make those decisions as I went. But all in all, I'm really happy with the way the ball turned out. And I'll show you a picture of it at the very end when I show you the completed piece from the next project I'm going to do as well. But once I let that dry, because I used the glossy Mod Podge, I don't even need to really put anything on it, but I probably will end up spraying some sort of a like an acrylic top coat. I use that triple thick acrylic spray a lot. Most likely that's what I would do. If you're going to spray that, I would do it outside. As always, that stuff needs a lot of ventilation. What I've done in the past, if I'm doing multiples, is just spray it out in my backyard, hanging off of my clothesline with safety pins. That's a really great way to make sure that you're getting all sides of it equally sprayed. Or you could just put on a glove and keep it right there on your finger like I have it now, but with a gloved hand, and spray it like that. That's going to be a little trickier to get off though, so I would probably recommend putting the top back on and using the safety pin to pin it to a line. All right, so for this next project, you remember all of these ravens, I'm sure if you've seen any of my other videos. I have so many of them just from projects that I've done in the past with my inkjet printing on the gel plate. I'll put that at the end if you want to check it out. So what I'm doing is covering a box. This is just an Amazon box that I got in the mail from something that I had ordered. I did peel off all of the stickers, and just a little tip there, if you use your heat gun or blow dryer and hit those stickers a little bit, you can peel them right off. I did go ahead then and cover it in a white gesso. You do not need to do this. I probably spent way more time on this project than I rightfully should have. And that's another thing that I should mention. Extremely labor intensive project here. So I would not set out to do all of my holiday gifts this way. This would be something more of like one or two special items. So what I'm doing here, I'm again going for a limited kind of neutral color palette because I want those birds to kind of be the focal point, and I do pick a couple other different um, objects like some flowers that I had prints of flowers and things, but I mostly just want to keep the neutral color. So I'm using, in this case, my matte gel medium because I do have the gessoed background there, and I'm using, my papers here, and it's almost more like I'm creating some finished art like I've done in my other videos. So I will not bore you showing you every single piece of paper that I glued on this box because, like I said, it took forever. So just give yourself plenty of time. This is a project that, if you want it to look a certain way, you're going to have to put a little bit of planning in there. You can see the packing tape that I left on there. Not a big deal because I'm covering every inch of this with paper. So my plan here is to just lay all of this paper down and then decide from there what I want to do. I'm going to, while I'm collaging this on, I'm doing it in layers, and basically the first layer was just to get some paper down there, and then I went in and started embellishing it a little bit further. You can see there that I got gesso all over the inside of the box, but I'm going to show you what I did to mitigate that problem too. So once I had that first layer down, I'm just going in with some of my other gel prints, and you can feel free to do this in whatever manner you want. This was more about presenting you this idea of covering the boxes with your jelly prints because I know we all have tons of them laying around if we are jelly printers, and they're so much fun to make, but the question often comes, well, what do I do with them? So this is just a way that you can go through your prints and you can pull out some like patterns or like colors, or you can cut out different shapes and glue them on there. I actually had an idea to use, I don't know if you remember that little hydrangea paper punch that I've been using in some of my videos. You could just punch tons and tons of those little flowers out and collage those on there. I mean, I would definitely use a smaller box for that because those are tiny little flowers, and that would definitely take you some serious time. But I think you could get some really cute outcomes just using your own ideas and maybe just different shapes of things that you cut out on here. Now, again, I am using the matte gel medium, and here I'm tearing out some of those flowers that you've seen me print probably if you've seen my videos. If not, I will try to add one of those at the end too. I'm not sure how many things I'm going to have room for, but feel free to look through my collection and you will see how I've made many of these prints here. But I was saying I'm using the matte gel medium. You could certainly use the Mod Podge for this as well. I just wasn't sure exactly how much I had left, and because this was such a large box, I decided to go with the matte medium because I had a big jar of that handy. These are just some little teeny tiny flowers that I printed from little flowers that I got at Dollar Tree, and they turned out pretty cute. So again, I'm kind of just doing a different theme on both sides. I've got the ravens on the one side, I've got some trees carrying over, and then some flowers in the back there. just kind of showing you all of the sides here, how they all turned out. Important to let these dry between layers, of course, too. All right, so I've got a roll of craft tape here, and I think I got that on Amazon. I know I did. I will put a link to that in the description for you. All I'm doing here is going over all of the rough edges of the box because I'm going to be giving this as a gift, right? Or containing a gift. So I kind of don't want it to look like what it is, which is some trash that I should have put in the recycling bin. So I'm just trying to polish it up a little bit and make it look nice and neat. So I'm just putting that craft tape over the edges, and that tape comes in many, many different colors. I happen to choose that one because that's what I use to finish the backs of my paintings for exhibiting in galleries and for sale. I'm probably going to do a video at some point to show you how I finish those because some people were asking, and it's very simple, but also a good thing to see if you're interested. But here I chose just to go around all of those raw edges there, and not only does it cover up the raw box edges, but it cleans up and just makes it look a little more neat where I have the paper coming up to the edge and everything too. I did trim off any large excess pieces on there, but um, any little tiny pieces were just going to get captured by the tape, so it wasn't terribly important to really worry too much about that. You can see how that looks there at the top. And then I decided to go on through and actually do the top and bottom as well, just to carry that theme over. And I'm going to show you what I do next here too to kind of polish it up just a little bit more. Here it is. I'm doing the bottom part there. Now you may have noticed I did nothing to the bottom of the box, and it's kind of a giant mess right now. Before I would use this to gift anything in, I would paint the bottom of that probably just a solid black just to make it look nice. So speaking of black, I've got my favorite matte black paint there. There is a link to that in the description. That's what I use to put sides on all of my mixed media pieces, FYI. And that's my little sponge roller, which comes in super handy. I'm just going around all of these edges here just to give a nice little bit of polished darkness that it needed. It was all kind of monotone there, which I wanted, but by the same token, I think it just needed a little bit of something to be a little more eye-catching there. So I'm just going to go through and put all of those little marks on there. I already like the way it looks so much better. It just kind of seems more pronounced and more finished. And then I go ahead and do that on the top as well. And I'm going to cut to the end here so you can see it. Before I do that though, I went ahead and took that little roller to clean up the inside there. I didn't paint the whole entire thing, but I did use some of that black paint just to cover up the white that I got in there with the gesso. Now, I could have just been a lot more careful when I did the gesso. I really wasn't trying to be terribly careful because this is just a demonstration piece, and I'm not really planning on using this box most likely. If I do, I will go and either cover the whole inside with some paper, and you could just use some kind of a plain paper, or I would just most likely hit it with this roller and finish painting it up black. I will most likely end up using tissue paper to put inside the box before I would put a gift in it anyway, so not terribly important what the inside looks like, but I would want it to look a little nicer than that. So once I have all of that work done, I am squeezing out some more of that the glossy Mod Podge there because I want some sort of a glossy finished look to it. I could spray it with a triple thick adhesive. Maybe I should have, it might have been thicker. That tends to carry an odor with it. I've found even after it's dry, it off-gasses an odor for quite a while. So depending on how quickly you were going to be using that, you might want to do that, or you might just choose to put the clear Mod Podge on. I also have clear acrylic medium. I always talk about the matte gel medium. There is a glossy gel medium as well. You could use that if that's what you have on hand. It's all kind of about use what you have. If you don't want to go out and buy something for each individual project, which, you know, new art supplies are always fun, but they can be pricey. So, always work within your means. And if you have something that you can use for multiple things, I would definitely encourage that you do so. So once I put the layer of the clear Mod Podge on there, I let everything dry. It doesn't take terribly long to dry, but I let it dry for quite a few hours, and I'm going to show you what it would look like if you give it as a gift. And here's the finished ornament. I have a couple different shots from different sides for you to see. I love the way this turned out, and this is something that I would definitely do again in the future. I really love that black kind of polka dotted paper on there, and I will certainly be making more of those to use. Let me know what you think of this and if this is something that you might try. And then coming up, I have the gift box here. Again, I took some shots of it from different sides there, and I just used a little bit of black ribbon to embellish it just so you could get an idea of what that might look like if you were going to give it to somebody as a gift. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. I would certainly take time into consideration as a factor for making these because it does take a good while. But thank you so much for sticking around. Let me know what you think of these. And if you haven't had a chance yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It helps me out immensely. Thank you all, and let me know what you come up with. Can't wait to see you all again next week. Have a great day.